Hello YouTube, this is the Florida Rider. Crossing the bridge as I come to it, as the saying goes. It's another gorgeous day here in Florida. So why not ride? Today's topic is cyberbegging. Yes, that's right, cyberbegging. It's finally reached motovlogging on a more consistent basis, so I thought I'd go ahead and discuss it. But first, let's make sure the GPS knows where I'm going, otherwise I may never get there. Okay. So there's been some cyberbegging going on in the motovlogging community, and since that's a relatively new thing, I want to give my opinion about it. While there have been isolated cases before, one of the biggest ones recently has been when a certain motovlogger decided that he saw his very first bike for sale and wanted to get it back. And so he set up a GoFundMe campaign and raised like $2,000 overnight and got his bike back. Many people were against him doing that, or against that use of GoFundMe, I should say, including me. But he managed to get enough money to buy it back. Then there was a case of somebody local to me who had left his GoPro someplace and it had been stolen, and he put up a vlog about it, and he said that because of the number of followers he had, he thought that they wanted him to go ahead and make more videos, so he asked for donations. He did it in a different way though, because he did it through PayPal, which meant that nobody knew exactly when he had reached his goal, and he could keep it going for as long as he wanted to. Let's see, then there was another big motovlogger who had bought a bike on Craigslist that, for some reason or another, wasn't as good as he thought it would be. And his theory was, I want $3,000 for a new bike, and I don't care what you say. And he even had the nerve to put up a picture of himself wheeling while begging for a new bike. Needless to say, I didn't donate to any of them. Now, I've always had a different idea of GoFundMe. I've always thought that GoFundMe was for people who were in dire need of help. Like Palm Beach Rider's family, for example, when his father was in that horrific crash. That is a cause I donated to, and the type of thing that's supposed to be on GoFundMe, in my opinion. Or our local rider, Tony, who died in January of this year on his bike. His family didn't really have the means for a fitting funeral, so they set up a collection for GoFundMe, and we funded that for them too. And I have no problem with that at all. And then there's my cousins. They were having a baby, and it had Edwards syndrome, but despite the fact that they knew about it beforehand, thanks to technology, they still decided to go ahead and have the baby. They had the baby. It was born with several health issues, such as, I believe it was a hole between the ventricles of its heart. So while they did have insurance, Anybody knows that insurance in the USA, unless you pay a pretty penny for it, try saying that 5 times fast, it doesn't cover extreme things usually like this. So, being that they live in a somewhat rural area, they were going to have to make many trips to doctors and hospitals in different regions and probably tons of specialists and things like that. And so they set up a GoFundMe campaign because they needed the money. Unfortunately for them and for our family, the baby died 8 days after it was born. These are people who are in dire circumstances who need money. So those are the types of people, in my opinion, who should be setting up GoFundMe accounts. And in my opinion, the other, I guess you could say, category of people are people who help people. Like there's a story of a man somewhere in California who saw a homeless woman sleeping outside in the dirt near his house. So he got together some leftover wood and scraps and things like that and built her a tiny house. It was very small, and he put wheels on the bottom of it so it could be parked right in the area where the homeless woman was sleeping all the time. And he gave her the keys to it, a little home sweet home sign, and the parking authority even told him that as long as it's moved every 72 hours, they have no problem with it. And he's taking up donations to build more little houses like that for people who really need them. And quite frankly, he deserves an award. Now, I realize that people can donate to whoever they want to donate to. It's your money, do what you want with it. But in my opinion, it cheapens the idea of GoFundMe, which was to help people. GoFundMe is being set up for everything these days, and people are going to be getting GoFundMe fatigue. You know, it's like every time something happens, GoFundMe, GoFundMe, GoFundMe. To me, that's just not right. I mean, give if you can to people who need it, is the way I've always done it. Because there have been times in my life where I haven't been able to give. Now, I've never asked for any money or things like that, but I haven't been able to give to others. And at this point in my life, I can, so I do. So I will put this out there to all of you. What do you think of cyberbegging? Do you think it's okay? Do you have no problem with it? Or do you think it might cheapen the idea of things like GoFundMe and websites like that, and people won't give as much anymore? So leave a comment or a video reply. This is the Florida Writer signing off. Goodbye.